Comparative mythology is the comparison of myths from various cultures in an attempt to identify shared themes and characteristics. The study of comparative myths provides insight into a common experience shared among ancient civilizations. A common shared belief among ancient pagan societies is that there existed gods that ruled from their abode in the heavens. This abode was known by many different names. To the ancient Greeks, the home of the gods was located on an acropolis on a heavenly mountain that levitated high above in the heavens, known as Mount Olympus, where Zeus ruled and conveyed with the gods in his starry court. To the ancient Egyptians, this was known as the sunboat of Ra, a solar ship that flew across the heavens which served as the vehicle in which the Egyptian gods traveled between their abode in the heavens and the earth. To the ancient Norse, this home of the gods was known as Asgard, the dwelling place of the Norse gods and their descendants. When looking at these comparative myths through a biblical perspective, it's quite possible that the identity of these gods is connected to Satan and his rebellious angels posing as a bastardized version of the heavenly council, who have falsely proclaimed themselves to be the gods of humanity. Satan and his council of gods would rule humanity with powerful advanced weapons that they forged for themselves to show their power and judgment over the sons of men. One of these weapons was known as the Vajra. The earliest mention of this weapon appears in ancient India, where it was the primary weapon of the Vedic sky god, Indra. Indra was known as the god of the heavens and the king of the gods. Indra is the Sanskrit equivalent of the Norse god Thor, Greek Zeus, and Roman Jupiter. The word Vajra is Sanskrit for thunderbolt and indestructibility. The Vajra is often depicted as a round, symmetrical metal scepter with two ribbed spherical heads. This powerful weapon is described as having the combined features of a sword, a mace, and a spear. This divine weapon of Indra, when used, was thrown at one's opponent and would shoot indestructible thunderbolts which blazed across the heavens in a maelstrom of thunder, fire, and lightning. The symbol of thunder, or a thunderbolt as a tool of destruction, surfaces in many ancient civilizations. These comparative myths associate lightning with a sky god, the god of thunder who uses it as a weapon. Within the ancient Western world, the thunderbolt is most readily associated with the Greek sky god Zeus. With it, he defeated the Titans and took control of the Greek pantheon. Greek mythology tells us that Zeus freed the Cyclops, the master builders who were imprisoned in the depths of the underworld, also known as Tartarus. In gratitude for their release, they forged a marvelous weapon for him, the thunderbolt. The earliest images of Zeus depict him holding a rod-like thunderbolt, while others show this deadly weapon with its end splayed into 3 prongs, identical to the Vajra of Indra. According to the Theogony, after Zeus defeats the Titans and banishes them to Tartarus, his rule is then challenged by the monster Typhon, a giant serpentine creature who battles Zeus for control of the cosmos. Zeus ends up winning the battle with the help of his thunderbolts, and as a result Typhon was cast into Tartarus. A Vajra-like weapon also appears in Sumerian myths. The use of this weapon is recorded in the Babylonian epic of creation, a battle between the main god of Babylonians, Marduk, the god of thunder, and the serpent Tiamat. According to the Enuma Elish, the evil and powerful serpent Tiamat was devising treacherous plans against the other reigning gods. The gods were afraid to invoke her evil wrath, and thus searched for a solution. During their searches for a solution, the Babylonian god Marduk stepped forward and volunteered to fight the enraged serpent, on one condition. If he was successful, he would have dominion over the entire universe. The gods agreed and provided Marduk with a mighty weapon, including a bow, a mace, and a net to use in his battle against Tiamat. Ancient images depicting of this epic scene shows Marduk holding a 3-tipped scepter in his hand. Subsequent images clearly depict this same deadly 3-pronged weapon. In Norse mythology, there is an alternative description of a Vajra-type weapon. Some texts represent it as a notched metal club with thousands of prongs. We find this form of the Vajra in numerous other cultures. According to ancient Norse writings, this weapon was associated with the sky god Thor. His mighty hammer was the most fearsome weapon in Norse mythology. Images of the thunder god Thor traditionally show him carrying his mighty hammer. Some texts describe this weapon as a hammer, while others refer to it as an axe or a club. According to the description of Thor's weapon found in ancient Norse writings, this mighty weapon had the ability to level mountains. Descriptions of this weapon further state that if aimed at anything, it would never miss its target. In addition to having the ability to never miss its target, it would always find its way back to the hand of its owner. Thor used his mighty hammer to battle his deadliest foe, the giant serpent Jormungandr. In these tales, the Midgard serpent Jormungandr is not killed. It would not be until the end of the world, in the apocalyptic battle of Ragnarok, that Thor would clash with this serpent the final time. In Slavic mythology, we learn of the evil serpent Veljes, who ascended from the underworld and stole something of value from the sky god Perun. Perun, using his lightning bolts, would vanquish Veljes back to his underground realm annually. His deadly axe, like Thor's mighty hammer, was used to subdue evil and overcome the iniquitous serpent Veljes. Just like Thor's hammer, Perun's axe would return to his hand after being thrown. The universality of these myths concerning the gods of thunder found around the world implies a shared experience. Weapons like the Vajra were not born from the imagination of man. They did not come into being as part of a made-up common myth, which happens to hold many identical themes among these various stories found across the world. These accounts of gods and their powerful weapons were perhaps real and tangible. Across the world, ancient people in our remote past saw the gods and their weapons and documented it. It is only through an actual encounter with a marvelous weapon that emitted thunder that a clear and specific portrayal of it could be made. Likewise, if tools like the Vajra are genuine, then we are forced to accept that the gods who wielded these weapons were factual individuals as well. Through a biblical lens, these accounts of thunder gods fighting a serpent and possessing a powerful weapon associated with thunder and lightning are possibly describing Satan, the leader of the rebellious Watchers, fighting the primordial sea serpent Leviathan, who at one point challenged the rule of Satan for control of the world. Understanding these myths through a biblical lens can help us understand the impact Satan had on the world and his weapon of choice, the Vajra, which was not only a weapon of mass destruction that could shoot powerful thunderbolts, but also helped Satan and the rest of the false gods manipulate weather and create powerful storms to punish whomever he pleases. This is perhaps why Jesus rebuked a storm in an account found within the Gospels, where Jesus rebuked a powerful storm while crossing the Sea of Galilee. Jesus would never rebuke something sent by God the Father. The storm that he rebuked was sent from Satan. It is no mere coincidence that these myths seem to be describing an identical being that was known by various names across the world. These comparative myths describe the king of the gods with attributes similar to that of the biblical Satan, which includes pride, arrogance, wanting to be like the God of the Bible, having his own inverted version of the heavenly council, ruling from the heavens above. These attributes even include Satan's connection to lightning. Thank you guys so much for watching as usual. I hope you guys found this video fruitful. I would love to hear your honest thoughts in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this and would like to support this channel, I do have a Patreon. The link for that will be in the bio. Please like, share, and if you enjoyed, subscribe. Till next time.